be showing you them throughout the evening. According to a new UMass Lowell 7 News poll, Donald Trump out in front, 34%. In second, there's a tie between Senators Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, who both have 13%. And next are Governor John Kasich and former Governor Jeb Bush. They are tied with 10%, followed by Chris Christie at 5%. Earlier today, we caught up with Donald Trump before he headed out to a campaign rally with his supporters. Mr. Trump, great to see you in New Hampshire.
Thank you. Thank you.
So even in the snowstorm, you got, what, 5,000 people at least over there?
Well, we have a lot of people. I know we've had 3 of our people in accidents already tonight, so I don't know how many could show up. Yeah. You know, we had 7,000 say they were going to show up, but we have a big storm tonight.
Last 2 days, the polls, you have not been below 30. Things are certainly looking good for you. How do you feel about things on the ground?
Well, we hope so. We have good ground game. We have good everything, and we'll just see what happens. You know, it's still an election no matter what, right? And we're going to see, but we feel very good about it.
Let's talk about the debate Saturday night. It was interesting to me because I watched you, and I thought you had a very good debate, and I watched Ted Cruz. Everyone's going after Marco Rubio. Is it because they think you're inevitable in New Hampshire? They think...
Well, they were going after him, and it was sort of a tough night for him, but I will tell you they were going after him, and I was a little surprised to see it. I felt quite good, actually.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well...
Not because they went after him, but really nobody, other than Jeb, and Jeb is easy, but nobody really came after me.
Yeah, the issue of eminent domain came up in that, and then the issue of eminent domain used to get Ranger Stadium built.
Yeah, Jeb was mentioning about eminent domain, and I used eminent domain, and then we just found out this morning that they used that for one of his parents' projects, and in Texas they used eminent domain, private eminent domain, and so he's very embarrassed right now. I heard he's like a nervous wreck. It's too bad.
In the case that was mentioned here, you did not take the woman's.
I never took it. No, we never took it, and could have taken it, or could have bought it at some point, but we didn't, which was a good thing because Atlantic City was not exactly a thriving destination. Worked out well for me, but I never did take it, no.
Let's talk about the campaign. You've got now New Hampshire where you're doing well in the polls. You've got a double-digit lead by every poll that's out. Then you're heading to South Carolina, Nevada, and then Super Tuesday. Walk us through the strategy that you think gets you the nomination.
Well, we're going through a process. We left Iowa. I think we did really well in Iowa, especially after what happened to Ben Carson, which was unfortunate. And we did really, really well. We came in a very, very strong second. And then we come here, and we seem to be doing very well. New Hampshire's special because I know the people up here so well. I come here a lot and have a lot of friends here. And then we're going to South Carolina. Then we go Nevada. Nevada, I should do well. South Carolina's been amazing. And then we have the SEC, and by that time, I think, you know, somebody's going to be people are going to know what's happening. I think at the end of the SEC, you'll probably know whether or not somebody's getting it, or are we going to go a little bit further. But I don't see a convention, you know, where we're going to go and start fighting. I don't see it. I don't see it. A lot of people talk about it, but I don't see it.
I think there's people trying to make money through punditry, and a lot of people...
It's interesting.
Before Iowa, you said something in your speech that really stuck out to me, and I want to get a little further into this. You have a lot of people offering you advice, I assume. You're your own man, though. Right. You made your own decision. They were telling you, don't go to Iowa. And you decided to go anyway. Tell me about that process. Why were they telling you don't go to Iowa?
Well, I'm glad I did go. I have, we had a lot of fun there. We did very well there by any standard. In fact, I got the second most votes in the history of the caucus, the Republican caucus.
More than any other winner in every past cycle.
In history, yeah. So we did really well. The evangelicals are great. They were tremendous. We got a great number of evangelicals and just did well. But we were told, don't go there, don't go there. It wouldn't be for me. And I said, I think it is for me. And so we're very happy. We went there. We got a lot of delegates, got the second most delegates. And now we're in New Hampshire, and I think that's going to be tremendous.
Hillary Clinton says that Donald Trump doesn't think America's great. Your campaign slogan is Make America Great Again.
Right.
What do you say to Hillary?
Well, I think America is great, but it could, I mean, it's troubled. You report on it every single night.
I think we're in decline.
We are absolutely in decline. And my whole campaign is Make America Great Again. Right now, we are in a lot of trouble. We're being scoffed at and laughed at by everybody on the planet. You look at what's going on. I mean, we can't even beat ISIS in a war. Can you imagine telling General Douglas MacArthur or George Patton that we can't beat ISIS in a war? Okay, they'd be spinning in their grave. So we're going to make it great again. We're going to make it greater than ever before. I mean, mine is a positive message. Some people say, oh, it's a little bit on the negative side. It's not actually. It's very positive. I go around. We have the biggest crowds of anybody, including Bernie. Nobody has crowds like we have. And the message is that we're going to make it greater than ever before, and I really believe that, Sean.
When you meet people that are losing their homes, don't have a job, almost 100 million Americans out of the labor force, and you meet these people and they tell you their stories, does that motivate you more to run? Does that say, justify in your mind, this is why I got into this?
It does motivate me, and you know what? Look, I could be doing so many other things right now. It's wonderful staying with you and talking to you in a hotel room, but to be honest with you, I could be doing other things.
You'd rather be with other people right now? Is that what you're saying?
I could be with doing other things, although I do love you. There's no question about that. But I will say this. There is such potential in this country. And when I see, I just said I have to do it. I mean, I have to do it. I'm a worker. I'm somebody that understands how things have to work.
But are you thinking about those people out of work, in poverty, on food stamps, out of the labor force?
Well, I am.
Because that angers me.
Yeah. And it angers me also when I see the reports. Unemployment less than 5%, okay? Everybody they look for a job for months, and then they give up, and they're considered statistically employed. It's ridiculous. Your rate is probably 25%, 28%. Some people say 42%, the actual employment rate. And you reported it all the time, close to 100 million people.
I don't know where they get that calculator in Washington, but if you used it in your business, they would handcuff you and send you to jail.
That was developed years ago, in all fairness, long before Obama, to make presidents look good and to make the economy look good. But when you hear less than 5%, and honestly, I probably wouldn't even be running. I wouldn't get these crowds if we didn't have, if you had really 5% unemployment, you wouldn't have crowds showing up like show up for me.
If you get to the White House, you're going to remember those people that told you about their lost job, their lost homes. Older people can't live in New York, for example. They can't afford the taxes.
Not only remember them, Sean, we're bringing jobs back from China, from Mexico, from Japan, from Vietnam. That's a new one. But they are just killing us. We're bringing from all over the world. We're going to start bringing our jobs back. They're killing us with devaluation and manipulation of the currency. They're just killing us. Me, I understand it. Obama, he doesn't understand it.
If I could get you to project in your mind, you win the election, you're in the White House, who are the type of people you want to surround yourself with?
Great people and different people. We have the best business people anywhere in the world. We're going to use them for trade. I mean, we're using right now political hacks for trade. Military, I'm going to pick the people. We're going to get the right people, not people that go on even your show and talk on your show. I mean, I see these generals. You're right, but I see generals going on different shows, not the ones. You have some pretty good ones, but they're retired. But I see people going on the different shows and they're talking about what we're going to do. I always envision our great generals. Do you think they'd be going on talk shows discussing how we're going to fight ISIS? I don't want to hear about it. I want them to do it. We're going to fight great people, and there are so many out there, Sean. But we have political people, and we have many political hacks. They get their job because they give contributions. It's not going to happen that way anymore.
You see the list of contributions and the money where Hillary was being paid anywhere between $225,000 a speech and $400,000 a speech, and all of them have business with government or lobby in some capacity.
She's been terrible, but look at the Republicans. I mean, Jeb Bush just said today he doesn't like the idea of super PACs. He spent $117 million in super PACs. He said, I wouldn't do it again. Well, it's too late. Wouldn't spend it again. The super PAC concept is horrible, what's going on. It's been abusive, and people are being abused by them. But you look at the kind of money being thrown around, then, of course, you look at Hillary, what she's done, and that's taken it to a whole new level.
Yeah. Would you, if president, would you go to the private trust, a secret trust where you don't know anything about your business anymore?
I would do that. And my children, they're very capable and have great executives. So I would do that, and my executives and my children would run my company.
It's funny because you've been hard on some of the other candidates at different times in the campaign. As you look at the slate of candidates, 17, and you're leading in the polls, if you win that nomination and you won the job, would you pick some of those guys to work with you, hire them?
I would. Some are very good, and I can obviously tell you who, because
sure you
I'm
can.
competing.
You can tell me whatever you want. You can say, you're Donald Trump. You can say anything you want.
Some are very good, and some I don't have much respect for, to be honest with you. But some of them are very good, and I could see some of them working with me and straightening out our country and making America great again.
Do you give any thought to a VP choice?
I don't give much thought to it, and look, there's so many out there, so many really good, talented people, and I would have maybe 2 or 3, but I don't want to think about it. I want to think about closing the deal. I want to close the deal. I want to get it done, get it closed, and we have plenty of time. I would speak to lots of people about it, and lots of people that know him, including you, by the way.
Right. One of the best things in the art of the deal is you say at any moment you should be willing to walk away. Never want a deal that bad.
Well, we should have walked away from the Iran deal 5 times. We could have made that deal so much better. We never walked. I mean, they were dancing in the streets of Iran. They were dancing all over the country. celebrating a deal that wasn't even made yet, just because they heard the details of the deal, and they were told to do it, and our people go in and they just keep negotiating, kept losing. I mean, when you think about deals, that's one of the worst, but there are others. Actually, Iran's going to make the next best deal. They're taking over Iraq.
Scary.
We made it possible for them to take over Iraq. That's an even better deal.
Well, let's see if the Sunnis in Saudi Arabia will protect their own territory, their own lands, and stand up against the rise of the Shia and the Iranian mullahs in Iran.
Well, when they go into Yemen, you know, they took over Yemen.
Houthis are fighting them from Yemen.
They don't want Yemen for Yemen. They want Yemen because of that nice, beautiful, long border along Saudi Arabia.
They're all backed by the Iranians.
They want the oil. Okay, 100%.
A lot of time. All right, you got thousands of people waiting for you. I think you throw me out. I'm fired.
Nah, you can always stay. Have a good time. Thank you very much, Sean.
Appreciate it.